Let's see if this works. These might be in a minute. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, live. Oh, it's already live. Okay, what's good, everyone? Welcome to the party. 3, 2, 1, testing. This should be good. Okay, the camera might be back. Okay, we're off a laptop today. Gentlemen, it is good to be back. We are live with just a quick little show for you all. Ronnie's here, EasyMac is going to be here as well, and we're going to talk a bit about this tournament that's coming up in a couple of days, because COD is kind of back. It's dead. COD's dead. COD basically is dead. But, you know, there are some things happening over the next couple of days. So EasyMac's going to be joining us in a second. He's currently prepping everything on the website going into this Toronto tournament. And we thought we'd just turn on the stream for a little bit. We are going to do another show. There's going to be another show coming Monday. Obviously, we're going to do like a big prediction show. Today, we just want to do a quick show for this Toronto tournament, which is coming up. And we'll talk about it in a comment. As Mick says, there's a tourney coming up. It's like, yeah, exactly. There's also a world championship coming up, but I don't know if any of you guys knew about that.
Wait, when's that?
Yeah, I don't actually know. The league don't tweet about it really, so I don't know if anyone's really aware that that's happening. Although they did tweet that you can get your tickets while they last. I'm like, Doc, they ain't selling out. Respect.
They're gonna last. Don't worry, guys.
They're gonna last, guys. Don't worry. Also, thanks to PrizePicks for supporting today's show. They've been killing it on supporting the content for us this season. So if you guys want to get involved, then use code Breaking Point to claim your $5 on your first $50, or claim your $50. You know what? Let me do that again, because I was figuring out the freaking cameras because EasyMac joined. My bad, Austin. I'm going to blame you for this one. The cameras disappeared, and I was like, I can't do this ad read while there's no cameras working. So I'm just going to move Austin nicely into position here, and then I'm going to move my camera out the way, and then we're going to actually try that one again. But yes, Austin, what's good? Good to see you back, looking very handsome as ever.
Take it. Yeah, first day back on the the
I'm
job.
back. Hell yeah, let's go. Did you know there was a tournament this weekend? We asked the chat. That is a very good question.
It was announced very, very late.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing for me.
Monday, right? Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, I think Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that one again. Go on, Austin.
Oh, you're good.
I was going to try it. Oh, everything disappeared again. But yeah, I'm just going to try that one again. So yeah, if you guys want to get involved, World Championships coming up, Toronto tournaments coming up. PrizePicks been a great job supporting the show this season. If you guys want to get involved, use code Breaking Point, claim $50 in your first $5 pick. Link in the description box below. As ever, if you guys also want to get involved in we put together the Destiny Awaits, who wants to be the champion poster. It's pretty lit. Although there was a lot of feedback to this. I don't know if you guys saw it. Lots of drama because people don't know who's who, right? So that people were talking about it because as far as I'm concerned, it's pretty obvious.
I think I can tell. Yeah, I think I can tell.
But
who's the Toronto guy, Ronnie?
Insight.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Ronnie. I thought it was Insight. Apparently it's
the
Kleenex.
Glasses, right? Wait, it's Kleenex.
Yeah. And Lionman was trying to roast me for not knowing who it was. I'm like, bro.
No.
I'm like,
that is definitely Insight.
It's the hair. The hair is Insight's hair.
Right? Yeah.
It's not Kleenex's hair, bro. Yeah, exactly. Like,
it's the hair. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's the hair. So that's my opinion. And also, just who matters anyway? It's like Kleenex, whatever. Like, they all look the same on that team.
I'm not gonna lie. I had Boston and Texas mixed up when I first saw it. If you scroll up the Boston one on top, I completely get it now because Snoopy too.
Yeah, he's got the little Snoopy character thing.
I thought
it was Shotzi, the guy's running, right? And I was like, oh, that's definitely Shotzi, right? But then it has the brick by brick shirt on, and I just never realized it.
It does look a bit more like Shotzi, I think, the one on the bottom, in my opinion.
It does, once I actually realized it.
Yeah. The poster is sick, though.
Who's the one on the left next to the Shotzi?
Rancor, I think.
Okay.
Oh,
look
on
at
the
bottom.
Yeah. Rancor, yeah.
The rest I can tell.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. It's
I loved it.
We're gonna hope to print some off and have some at Champs, that we can talk about, that we can you guys can pick up in person. If you're there, if you happen to be there.
There won't be many, but if you're there.
If you're there.
I'll be there.
Yeah, Oz is going to be there. I think Roosevelt's going to be there. Trey's going to be there. So, it's all really exciting. Look, we do have a tournament. And the reason why we wanted to turn the stream on today was to talk briefly about this tournament. Because COD is back. We're less than a week away to the World Championship. I've never known a period quite like this, I think, over the last couple of weeks. Every year for me, content, October is always the most difficult month because nothing happens in October, historically, right? Because historically, champs would be in July, Rostermania's in August, some of the reaction to Rostermania still happens in September, the new game comes out in November. So, October's always the absolute dead month. That's when I'm talking about Doug Santa Martin roasting cheaters, that's the cold, that's the dark ages. But I swear, even in those periods, I've still been able to make 2 videos a day, without trying that hard. There's been a couple of days in the last, week where I've literally decided, I'm literally just not even going to make a second video today because there's just nothing to talk about. And I could find something if I really wanted to, but I don't know. It's been tough. But it is what it is. Champs is going to deliver. Rostermania is going to go crazy. Then we've got the World Cup, so we'll see. But at least
looking at it,
we've got something going on today.
I think this is the longest break we've had in the CDL era for
between
the last major to champs. I know it was a little bit wonky this year because DreamHack got involved, and DreamHack's dates are set, and people don't know this, but most of the event dates are set really far in advance because you have to get the actual arena, get everything set up, start getting travel set. So it just ended up being weird. But I think this was the longest break between Major 4 and Champs, which is why I'm super happy that Toronto actually did this tournament, because I don't know if I could go another week without anything. No, I know.
Yeah, I agree. I think I saw Dashi talking about the CS, right? Because there's the major in Austin. It concludes this weekend. So does the Valorant tournament concludes this weekend. But the point I was making in the second video of today is that in Dallas, DreamHack, we had CS there. IEM Dallas was at our events. And then 2 weeks later, the major starts. And, the major's been maker, and it concludes this weekend before we even get champs.
Be finished.
It's what?
Yeah.
You've got 2 massive tournaments that happen in the span of about 3 to 4 weeks, and we've got nothing in a month. It's actually typical. But, that is CS, I guess.
Then it's going to happen again, too.
Of course it's going to happen again. Yeah, I can't wait.
At least we'll have some Rostermania after that. But the good news, guys, is that we'll have every match on the site, hopefully this weekend. The Ultra Boys and I think it's Toronto XP that are helping put it on. They're going to help us get all the matches up. So you guys will be able to earn bread, interact with all the matches for all. I think there's going to be 40+ matches this weekend.
Damn.
The second part of the good news is that we will also have all of the Challengers finals matches on the site, thanks to Toronto. They have some awesome workers over there. Mostly the person I've been working with is Martin. He's going to help us get all. Yeah, he's awesome. He's going to help us get all the Challengers matches up on the site. So for the first time this entire season, we're actually going to have Challenger LAN matches on the site. Mostly because all these LAN matches, they don't give us VODs. So it's just impossible to do it. This time we're going to have VODs for every single match, so we're going to be able to get every single match up again. So shout out Toronto. They're going to be helping us out for the next 2 weeks. It's going to be really a lot of fun watching them. If you guys go to the site right now, you can see all the matches for day 1 that starts on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern.
I will just quickly show, because I know the cameras are going to die here because I've run out of RAM, the vibe, we're on the laptop setup. But they did tweet, so initially they tweeted this out, where it said 16 teams, 3 CDL 13 challenges, and we'll come back to this in a second, but I'll just go to the site. and show you guys what it looks like. Because yeah, if you guys aren't aware anyway, there's a tournament happening starting tomorrow, and Toronto are putting on this event before the World Championship with the challengers teams, and then three of the CDL teams. So if I go to the matches, does it appear, if we put it as an event? Yeah, okay, that's the World Championship. So if I just go matches and then upcoming, and then I filter by non-CDL, then I'll find everything here. Okay, look at this, beautiful.
And you'll see it's mostly the Challengers Elite team or Challengers Finals teams. They're using this kind of as like a pre-event for that to get everyone back into it.
When you're on the matches, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I got it.
And then you'll see there's actually only 2 CDL teams currently. It's still a little bit up in the air, but as of right now, it's Minnesota Rocker and the LA Gorilla Mates. So those 2 teams will be the ones facing off on the opposite sides of the bracket. So there is a chance we can get a CDL team final, but that's something we can talk about a little bit later. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. We actually have a Latin American team, an APAC team playing this weekend. The Ultra Boys got pretty much all the teams in there, even Team Orchid.
Yeah, Mind Freak still
a
Australian team?
Yeah, so if you go to that match, actually, you'll see the Mind Freak roster should be there. I'm still tweaking some of the matches, guys, in the bracket, so it should be set like 100% later on today. But yeah, it'll be the team that Zach's on, who just played for Zuma's Stallions team at the major. So that's his team with, I believe it's Betsy. It's a lot of like the old school APAC players. Yeah, so I'll have that going up later today. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. There's pretty much every region's involved, so it should be a really good litmus test going into Challengers Finals next week.
Yeah, this is interesting, right? Because we've got all right, the teams but people are going to care about, right? Who's playing from a CDL perspective, right? So we've got 12 teams in the league, 8 of them are going to champs. I think my first thought, I was like, okay, well maybe Ultra will play because it's their tournament, right? But also, you don't want to give anything away for champs. Like, I think that's probably part of it. Although it could, it would be good practice, I think, but it probably wouldn't make sense for Ultra to play in this, or anyone that's going to champs. What do you think, Ronnie?
I presumed Ultra would, but I also understand why they don't. Like, it's just not worth the risk. If teams sit there, watch all their S&D, it's like, what are they really gaining out of it? Like, not much, are they? But I'm surprised the other non-champs teams aren't playing because they've got nothing to lose.
It could be with like travel, vacation. They might just not have a player or two.
Yeah.
I would have liked it because I don't think teams and players should say we have lack of things going on the scene and then not play in tournaments when they do pop up. Again, like this page right here, we're going to get it looking good by the end of the day. I still have to make a bunch of the like lower round 3 and 4 matches, but almost all of them are up. So we'll have, you can already see just that's day 1. It's going to be a ton of matches. Yeah, I would have liked, so the 2 teams are New York and Vegas. I would have liked them to be there. If they don't have their team, it would have been nice to have them with like some subs or something like that just to play it out and have some fun. Because more content's the better. And I feel like when everyone says like the scene runs on content and then we get these types of tournaments, we don't see everyone that could be there. But it is what it is. I am extremely happy that Minnesota and LAG are both playing in it because it's kind of one of those situations where you kind of have a lot to lose if you start dropping to some of the challenger teams. It's something where you can kind of take a hit going into EWC and free agency. So I do respect the hell out of them for playing in this and giving us some content going into champs because it has been kind of dry the last 2 weeks. I went on vacation. I thought I was going to be missing a bunch of stuff, and I have missed nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 weeks, man, nothing.
The timing is interesting for the... I'm not saying the players have necessarily done anything wrong, but it's like, what do you think about this, Roddy? You've just got slammed in the regular season, piss slapped all year. You've not qualified for champs, going to Cancun. So you're missing, you know what I'm saying? You're missing tourneys. Like, I kind of respect it because at that point I'm just collecting the paycheck. But equally, I don't know. If I was the, like, I don't know.
With EWC, I feel like you should just wait until that's over.
Especially because the off season's so long, right? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like,
you've got plenty of time to go on holiday.
Yeah. Once EWC is done, do what you want. Enjoy your lives.
Yeah.
But like, would it hurt to keep playing an extra month? Especially with EWC with how big the tournament is and money-wise. Like,
It's probably not going to make much
That
difference.
extra-
I just think it's
no,
like a
yeah.
it's a philosophical question. Like
I
if
feel
I'm,
like-
you know what I'm saying.
T9, if they kept playing, like, you never know, do you? Like, I mean, Vegas, I wouldn't worry about them, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like, but it's just, I don't blame them for going on holiday, but also, you know, it's worth a try to keep playing.
Do you guys remember last year's EWC? Like Austin and Carolina were trying out roster changes, and so they
Yeah.
were practicing going in the champs. Like I think
Yeah.
this week of practice is actually the best for the teams that didn't make it because you can get ahead for EWC. Because you can just keep the foot down. Because a lot of the teams, like Optic last year, as soon as champs is done, that's when they actually do their holidays and they go out. So I think that's why I was expecting all 4 teams to be grinding this week because this is probably the best week of practice they're going to get for the next probably
Unless
3
they're
to
going to
4
make a
weeks.
change.
But if you're going to make a change, you should have already made
Already
either
and
made
then
a
ready
change,
for this, yeah.
yeah, or you're expecting to get somebody that's at champs.
Which is only Vegas could do that. But even then, I doubt they would do that.
Cloud9 New York, I don't know. I think they thought they were going to play better in stage 4. So to have that kind of hot start where they beat Atlanta and then to falter as bad as they did, I think like they're in territory where they can make changes. It's just a weird point. That's why I was saying like I would rather the teams play and either play with a substitute and play for fun, because one, Cloud9 New York's a brand new organization in the league, and they should be trying to get all the publicity they can get when they're missing the biggest tournament of the year. So I thought that would have been nice for them to get in there. It is what it is. Same thing with Vegas. I just would have liked to see.
So
them
it was
even if
meant
they
to be the Falcons because so Dragons, you're right. You only see LAG, Mate, and Rocker. There was gonna be Falcons, right? They were gonna play in it. At least that was the initial plan. And then they don't have enough players or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure why either team isn't playing in it. I just know that like currently that is the schedule as it sits. So it just sucks a little bit. I would have loved to see all 4 of them and to get the content, but now I kind of also like it because now we just have 2 CDL teams on the opposite side of the bracket, and it's kind of like
Who doesn't make
Who
it
do you
to
think-
finals, right?
yeah, who
Blow it
finals?
up.
And then it's like the
Yeah.
bet like. Do you take the CDL teams winning it, like one of the two, or do you take the field? Like, what do you think's more likely to happen? Do you think a CDL team to win this, or one of the any challengers team to win?
I'll probably go with any challenger team.
I'm
'Cause I
gonna
really
take.
like-
Just because I presume the pro teams
I'm-
haven't been playing.
Well,
I
exactly.
think they
Yeah,
started
I
this
think.
thing. Yeah.
I think I would say the CDL teams, but I would
I'd went
also I would say Rocker. Yeah, I would say Rocker. Like Rocker should really farm this tournament pretty good, but also the challengers teams, they have been grinding. You know what I mean? Like they've been grinding hard
It's
for
life or
champs.
death for them. This going into
Yeah,
champs,
this
like-
next week is really big for them. So I think like it's actually probably not far off 50-50, but I think I'll back Rocker to get the job done. But and Gentlemates, they're not. If they are playing with the same roster they previously had, like
In fact, that roster is challenger demons.
exactly, yeah,
I would think-
yeah,
I would think they haven't made any roster changes yet.
yeah. I wouldn't. I'd be
Because
surprised.
you would
if
hear
they
about
have.
it before playing it.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more bullish on Minnesota than I am LAG, just because I didn't really like how LAG was playing this year. They have too many weaknesses. Their map pool is kind of like Swiss cheese. I think Omit, Orchid, there's a lot of good teams. But I want Minnesota to win something, man. I was so high on Minnesota every time we were doing pick'ems. I was picking them, and then they just kept
Sucks.
letting me down. Yeah, so that was my thing. I would lean CDL, but I'm not sure. The other one was I wasn't 100% sure because this is an online tournament. I wasn't sure if the EU teams are going to be playing from EU or if they're over here. I would assume they're still in EU because we're
Probably, yeah.
we're still 4
Unless they're
days away
popping a
from when
boot
the
camp,
Challenger teams.
But
Yeah, so I think
I
it
could be
might
wrong,
be.
but I thought I saw a tweet about one of the teams having a boot camp, but that could have been old.
Yeah, it could be a 50-50 where some teams are over here.
Yeah.
So that's why
I mean, I don't really see the point playing if you're still over there.
literally just reps.
Yeah, but on 100 ping.
Yeah, it is 10 Gs, and I don't know. I think they're just gonna
I
try
mean,
it
it's
out.
worth. I guess it's worth trying, but you're not really going to do much.
If you get invited, you might as well, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
It's one of those things
but-
where if you play bad, you just forget about it.
Oh,
and
it's,
if
yeah,
you
and
play
if you win,
good,
you're like, we are going to run champs.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's worth the risk. So I'm actually really excited because these are a lot of players or a lot of fans haven't been able to see these players this year because most of the time the opens are at the same time as CDL events. That's why I love the elites. The EU elites are early in the day. Oh, or for Eastern, for U.S. audiences, it's earlier in the day, so a lot of fans don't watch that either. So that's why I was really excited that all the EU teams are in this because, like, the team like Team Notorious, Team Orchid, like those guys have been playing so good this year. And I forget which one of the projects because there's Project 7, Red, Black, and I think White. I think two of them I watched a lot of this year.
Yeah,
and,
wait. Yeah, there
there's
were
so many, dude.
There are three. Wait, is it GG? Is this GGEA Orange, the glorious return? GGA
Yeah,
purple,
pretty much.
red. Oh, no, it was purple, orange, and blue, right? Yeah. I think
Yeah,
so.
I just remember the orange and the purple doing okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they picked up a bunch of EU Challengers teams. I'm almost positive they have red, white, and black.
They
Yeah,
probably
they
have
do. I
half
can
the
see
teams.
them over here. Yeah. They
It's a little
better
bit
win.
easier to see in the match page.
I go back to the match
black,
page.
the P7 black is BB Connor, Detain, Desiree, and Kez. There's a lot of teams I actually like. So I'm just more excited that some of the EU fans or NA fans are going to get to see some of these top EU players because there's been some standouts in the EU challengers that just a lot of people haven't been able to see yet.
I think like every year we should have some sort of pro-am tournament. I mean, yeah, obviously in an ideal world, every event goes back to being something like that. Maybe it will at some point. But 2022, what we did in Raleigh was great. But since then, we've not really had anything pro-am apart from EWC, right? So you never really get a chance to see what's actually happening in challenges. This at least gives some eyeballs, especially because there's literally nothing else happening. So people will be tuning into this. And to be fair, Zuma did a great job in the last couple of months of the season promoting some of the storylines and challenges around the Stallions and all this. So I think it's going to be like well supported. If you guys are just joining, this is a tournament which begins tomorrow. Saturday, Sunday, 2-day tournament, $10,000 on the line, 16 teams. Currently 2 CDL teams, 14 Challenger teams. Obviously, some of the Challenger teams are either going to be playing at the World Championship or just getting some reps in, basically. But it's big storylines anyway going into this and the World Cup, and good reps for the CDL teams to potentially get on the board as well. It's going to be a real interesting one because if either of those like bombs heavy, then people are going to say, "Now it's time. You know, we've got to blow it up, right?
Yep.
Like after champs, it's time to blow it up." And Vegas and Cloud9 have semi-escaped that discussion by not even bothering. So I respect it. But yeah,
Daniel
Jack,
was
this
coming.
is on. We can see the standings for this on breakingpoint.gg. It's a good website. It's linked in the description.
In about 1 or 2 hours, the entire bracket will be made completely. All the matches, there's going to be over 40 matches this weekend. They'll all be up. Currently, the day one matches are up. The event page is a little bit iffy looking because the brackets is not complete yet. But yeah, everything will be up. We're going to be trying to get every match because there's going to be 8 matches happening at once. If any of you are interested in helping observe, we'll need some observers this weekend too to get all the stats. But it should be good. The only thing I had left to ask you guys, because I saw this pop up with the Optic podcast, I'm sure you talked about it too, Rab. Would you rather have 2Ks back or tournaments like this, which is more of like a pro down format that was in, I believe it was Black Ops 4, where it was usually the 12 pro teams and 4 amateur teams, or you could do something like a 24 team tournament where it's like the 12 pro teams, 12 amateur teams. Would you rather have that or something with a 2K? Because theoretically, you do a 2K that feeds into the pro down bracket. You still have that pro-am aspect of it.
We run both. I mean, like, yeah, I think the pro downs were probably the best version of online tournaments that we ever had, really. Just because they were, like, it really felt like a proper tournament in the structure of it. And, I mean, I remember Scump having 100,000 views in a CMG Pro Down at the start of Black Ops 4, right? Like, it was insane.
That was my first proper year watching, and it was because that come up on Twitch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that was an online tourney for 10K. Like, you know, unbelievable.
My first proper game. Like, I watched a bit of World War II, but I didn't really care for it. Black Ops 4, I thought I was in for a good time after that, and then we had MW.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we will. Bread is going to be available for the tournament. I clicked on a couple of these, and people are already farming the bread. Like, look, we've already got 7 comments on this one. Let's get the bread in. Maybe I should get some bread. Hang on.
They love some bread.
Big's in.
Yeah, any reaction or comment, you'll have, again, like, you'll have a lot of matches this weekend. I haven't counted them all up yet, but I haven't put in a 16-team bracket in a very long time, and it's so many matches.
It's actually kind of crazy, right? Because Champs is 8 teams. How many matches does that equate to? They play, what, like 15 maybe? 14, 15 matches? 14? Don't know.
I'll tell you right now.
So, like, we're talking maybe 3x as many matches for this tournament as we're going to get at Champs.
In 2 days.
Obviously, the matches aren't as insane.
I believe it's 15.
But you know what I'm saying. Yeah, Ben, we have blue balled you a bit, but like the dope check, we will do a dope check on Monday to do proper predictions and everything for the tournament. Today's a little special show. Running live from New York here. It's pretty nice outside.
Worldwide rab.
Nah, you know, we on the move. Yeah, Champs is 14.
Going everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, 14.
So yeah, the tourney starts tomorrow. At what? I mean, it says 2 p.m. I'm assuming this is Eastern.
2 p.m. is 2 p.m. Eastern.
Wait, there's like 8 matches starting at the same time.
Yeah, so there's 8 matches at 2 p.m. Eastern. All winners round 1. And then there's 8 matches at 3:30. There's going to be the 4 winners round 2s and the 4 elimination round 1s, and then we trickle down from there. But then I believe all the players can stream. There's going to be 3 streams that can be found on Toronto Ultra's page. I believe they'll be streaming it themselves, AMD, and I believe it's COD Challengers. So it's actually on the actual Challengers page. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I expect a lot of like Tommy, Izuma, and Scump to be co-streaming it this weekend. I'm really excited to be covering it because we don't get a lot of these, so I like to support these as much as possible when we actually get them to show sponsors and orgs that want to take this risk that will help them with anything to bring a spotlight onto it.
No, absolutely. Like, this is the type of stuff that the fact that Toronto have kind of come up with this relationship with AMD, like, I do hope it continues because AMD have hooked them up with the best shit for Challengers Champs as well, right? Like the PCs and everything. I know that there was some drama because the players are going to have to play on monitors that are too good. Like they're too big. They're like, I mean, I do get it as a competitor. I don't know if you saw this, Ronnie. You probably did, but like Bance and that were moaning about it. It's like at the end of the day, you're playing on a 240 hertz OLED monitor and like, you know what I mean? I know it might not be the right size.
It's a simple solution, isn't it? If you're crying, go back to the old ones.
Yeah, well, I know what you're saying, yeah. But like that's like what they're going to be given. I mean, yeah, 27 inches is a big ass monitor, but like.
I think some players play on that anyway, don't they? Or does everyone play on the 24?
Usually 24 and a half, yeah, but I mean, still.
I don't know how true this is, but I was reading that a lot of esports actually do the 27 because it's easier to get sponsorships for that. And the 24-inch ones are really, really hard because that's not a common monitor size. I don't know how true that is.
It would make sense.
I don't know how big of a difference that 2 inches is because I use an ultra-wide monitor.
You have a big curvy one?
Yeah. Okay, I have like the one that like lays out a little bit.
That's fine.
So I don't really know. I have like my old ass BenQ monitor that I think is 24 inches, but I never even use it anymore other than just having it as a side screen.
I remember back in 2019, BenQ sent me a monitor it's funny. I'd only just started the channel, and they were like, "Yeah, we've got a monitor. We'll send you if you want to review it." So I did like a review on my channel, which is like it's probably a terrible review, but it's quite funny because I didn't really like record. You know what I mean? I just had my phone like recording the monitor as I was playing or something. I don't know. The video's still on the channel. They got annoyed at me because it's funny back then. Like I didn't really understand. Like it wasn't a sponsored video in the sense that they just sent me a monitor and were
You already
like,
had the monitor, so who cares?
yeah,
if they're
exactly.
mad?
They weren't paying me money. Like they'd sent me a monitor, but I think it was like 28 inches or whatever, and that is a big monitor to have on a desk, and it was a juicy monitor as well. But it was, I mean, I think it was only probably a 60 hertz monitor back then. Like they didn't really have the crazy shit back in the day. But they got annoyed at me because I mentioned during the video that the CDL doesn't use BenQ. They use like at the time it was like Asus or something or whatever the CDL were using. And I know one of the guys from BenQ like was like, can you remove this thing at the bottom? I'm like, bro, first of all, I can't remove it. What do you want me to do? Delete the video and upload it again without that? Like that's just I'm doing that. And first of all, you've already sent me the monitors, and it's not even a sponsor video anyway. I didn't sign any contract or anything. So, and I didn't have to be positive about it. Like I gave my honest opinion. I was like, the monitor's class, but it's only good for console gaming. Like you can't use it with a PC because it's only 60 hertz. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that was my opinion. And I think I eventually gave it to a friend. It was a pretty good monitor. So it was, that was good times. But nowadays, BenQ need to send me some new shit, you know?
I'm sure they will. After that review.
Yeah.
Fucking rolling, dude.
Yeah, so, you know, BenQ loved me after that one. No, they actually, I spoke to a couple of their guys out in Dallas actually before, so we'll probably make something work with them. British monitor bias, yeah, British passport bias. But yeah, effectively this tournament is the best teams in challenges and the two worst CDL teams. So, you know, it's actually going to be really pretty compelling. It kicks off tomorrow afternoon. And then, I mean, how late are these matches expected to finish, Austin?
So they have that the stream is going to be ending around like 8 p.m. Eastern time. There will be some additional matches, I believe, on Saturday to do like the Elim round 4s. But yeah, it should be pretty prime time, pretty quick. They have them like rolling out. I'm really excited for Sunday because that's when the matches are a little bit just only like 1 or 2 at a time. So it will be a lot easier to track and cover. But yeah, if you like chaotic days like the old CWL days, that's tomorrow. That is, we have at least 20 plus matches. It's probably closer to 30 just tomorrow. 16 within the first 2 hours, so it's gonna be insane. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty crazy. But good news is you'll be able to track everything on our site. Unless if something goes wrong, all 16 will be popping right up. We'll have all the stats on there. I currently have some matches that need some observers, so if any of you guys are interested, reach out to me on Twitter, and you'll be able to spectate some of these matches live. But yeah, we should be pretty good on that. I'm actually really, really excited.
I like this question from Evan as we kind of close out for the little quick dope check today. Who are you guys projecting to be the top 3 teams? So I think, like, if we had to choose a winner, I think we would all take Rocker to win.
Yep.
The interesting question from earlier was like, you know, what are the chances that they win? It might only be like 40% or something, but it's better than any other team. But then, like, who, you know, a Gentlemate's making the finals? Are they getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm interested to see, really. Obviously, you can look at some of the favourites for champs, like the Omit team and everything.
I'd probably take like an Omit team, be top 3. I think the one with Vivid and Craze. I think they won the last. Yeah, they won the last event, right?
Yeah.
So they've probably got a good chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which side of the bracket are they on? Are they on Rockers or LAGs?
Let me have a look real quick.
They are on. I believe that they're on LAGs.
Okay, yeah. So I wouldn't be shocked if it was them
they're
versus
the
Rocker
seed
in the final.
Yeah, Notorious and Orchid would be on Rocker's side.
Yeah.
So it should be a harder path for. Because I actually like Notorious. I think F Dot's really good. Afro's been just like a challenger slayer. Every time he goes down there, he's been playing like crazy. So I like them, but I can't get off the Minnesota bandwagon, man. I'm gonna die with them this year. It's actually absurd.
You got to take it through to EWC as well.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna try not
Never
to.
go until next off season.
I'm gonna really, really, really try not to. But like, it's weird because LAG, every single one of those players were challengers reapers.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I said earlier.
Johnny, Lunars, and Fellow were just crazy in challengers this entire year. Fellow was on the team that they were like not losing scrim maps at all.
Yep.
Lunars was on Omit. He was on the Omit team that was winning like everything at the beginning of the year. And Johnny was looking like the best SMG for a good portion of the time until he got picked up. So it's
As
hard
long as their
not to be
camp
biased.
isn't like chalked, they've got a good chance. On
That's like
paper.
where my bias comes in, man. Because I'm like, you guys just missed champs. You got Kentucky Fried for another stage. Like, that's why I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, their camp's probably chalked. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's not looking great.
But at least
Oh,
they're playing in
those-
it, which is better than two other teams.
That,
that
exactly.
people
Credit
on
them to
shot.
play. Yeah, credit to them.
I think Minnesota. My top three would be Minnesota, Team Notorious, maybe like Omit Brooklyn. That's the Brack, Standy, Yuli Pro.
I was
team.
actually thinking something very
Yeah,
similar.
they're
I
probably.
like.
Yeah, they're probably.
I would like to see the Afro team make it as well. I'm definitely rooting for him to, even
I
if
guess
he's
the
playing
Afro
from
team
Europe.
depends if yeah, exactly. That's the key
Yeah.
part.
But like, I want to see him
Opinions.
absolutely fry.
Yeah,
I want him to
that's-
do well at champs and qualify for EWC. So we'll
Yeah.
see. I'm
And
still an Afro believer.
Same.
Just in case you guys haven't watched Challengers this year too, there's some key names you can track throughout the tournament. So you have like the top teams like Royal Spartans, Team Notorious, Omit Brooklyn, War, Stallions, right? Those are the teams that have been well known. They have like a lot of veteran players like Asum, Assault, Vivid, Brack, Afro. They pretty much all have veterans on there, mixed with some of the top challengers that have been at the top for a while. Like a Cruz, like a Mamba, like a Yuli that was in the Pro League during, what was that, MW2 for a stage. And then you have the international teams, which is, I think it's Chaos and Mind Freak. So Chaos has been the best Latin American team this entire season. Kadi, I'm definitely mispronouncing that wrong. And Dylan are like two of the guys that I know that I've like watched before that are really good. On the Mind Freak side, a lot of people saw Zach because that was when Stallions was doing the stream scrims, and that was when he came over for that pretty early, and they were doing a lot of streams. Crimza and Setsi were players that had been around for a minute. Dude.
Yeah.
Those
Wow.
guys are like the OGs. I love it for playing. There's another APAC team, Unity, that has Imagine. I think.
Oh
he's
my
been
god,
around.
really? Imagine
Yep.
is still playing.
Yep.
Wow.
So, and then you have kind of like the teams with like some like really interesting prospects. You have like there's 3 different Project 7 teams, 5 Fears and Orchid. So there's players like Aspect, Cobra. I'm just like looking through a list right now that are like really high tier prospects that I've really liked watching this year. Same thing with like Kaz has been really. I thought he was really good this year. On the 5 Fears side, so that's the NA team that has Abe on it, who is the ex-Stallion player. He's really good on the SMG. I think he needs like another year to develop, but I think he has a bright future in front of him. He's on the team with Hixie, Fire, and Exceed. So that team could be a sleeper team to make a little bit of a run. But
Sorry, they actually scrimmed Rocker and LG yesterday. I think it was.
yeah.
Which is interesting.
And then the team that a lot of people shouldn't forget about is the Orchid team, who was correct me if I'm wrong, Ronnie. I think they were in the finals of the last Challengers Open. They lost to Omit and came in second, but that's the Harry, Henry, Mythics,
Yeah, I
and
think they
Vance. All those guys have been really consistent this year.
Gonna make 2
Mythics-
finals.
Yeah, Mythics
Yeah, they
took
were in
a
the
really
finals in
big step
Dallas,
up.
lost to Vivid.
Yeah. There's a lot of prospects that you could see in the league in a year or two. I also think when we start having more open tournaments, like EWC, I can see a DreamHack or Miners turning into that in the future. So these are just names to look out for. I would say any players that are streaming, give them a check throughout the day. There's a lot of cool players that you guys have probably never watched this entire season. So this is your time to do it before the Challengers Finals. Challengers Finals is going on at same time as Champs, so this is just Challengers right now. So this is the best time to do it.
I like that from Rob, who's the voice from the heavens. I haven't put like Plus and Ronnie on here like I normally do in the little chat box, but it's all good. Okay, gentlemen, I gotta go and make an F1 video now. I'll just quickly run through some of the questions in the chat so we can get a little breakdown as we close out the brief show that we did today. Let me run through a few things. Monday, we'll be back, proper dope check show. CDL Champs predictions, all kinds of drama, fantasy draft, got plenty to talk about because finally COD's a little bit back. The other piece is on this tournament, 16 teams, 2 of them are pro teams. Rocker are there, Gentlemates are there. No Falcons, no Cloud9. Your guess is as good as ours while they ain't playing. Probably it's chalked or something similar. We'll see. Then maybe someone's away, I don't know. 2 of the teams are playing in the Pro League, but some of the weaker teams. 14 of the Challenger teams, a lot of them are grinding, getting ready for the World Championship. I think Austin did a great job breaking through some of the key storylines, and everything gets underway tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and then over the next 48 hours, we're going to see who wins this tournament and who the calls are hitting to blow it up. So, yeah, gentlemen, Ronnie, any final thoughts? I think we'll be back and we might do something similar again to this in a couple of days' time. But it was a pleasure to have you guys on.
Yep, likewise.
Yeah, awesome. It was a lot of fun, guys.
Good to be back, Austin. Good to be back. Okay.
I know, right?
Okay, speak soon, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.